What else? Help folk through this, because you and I are total show-jumping equestrianism junkies. What are some equivalents in the world of sport for other activities when you think in terms of the Nations Cup? I mean, it's not a World Cup, but not a European one. I mean, it is global. How do you compare and contrast it when you're trying to explain it to folk?
I mean, I think a really good way to explain it is it's the only chance that the British public get to watch Team GB compete on home soil. So it's a 5-star Nations Cup. It's the very top league, and where we'd have the Olympics, the World Championships, the Europeans every 4 years on that level. This Nations Cup series happens every year at venues across the world. So we're the only one in the UK. And it's very exciting. And of course, we've had a 2-year break, so it's even more exciting, and we cannot wait for it to begin.
Yeah, and some of the real big names of the sport have underlined their global reach by being part of the Nations Cup team. But there's also a challenge to the sport that we love a great deal, and that's the Global Champions Tour, that has seen a lot of riders and horse combinations operate more abroad, because that's where the big money is, rather than at home. Do you see that as something of a challenge?
We don't actually. We just see it's a win-win for everyone. So the Global Champions Tour, as you said, has been a great introduction. It's been going in the sport for longer than we think, Alastair, because we're getting so old, but I think 10 to 15 years certainly, maybe even a bit longer, even though I think it's new. And the great thing there as well is these team competitions, but with riders from different nations. Yes. So that has never happened before. And that makes it a little bit more akin to, say, Formula One or something. And of course, those competitions also have a different format. So they're all in city centres. There's a fabulous one on Miami Beach. There's one under the Eiffel Tower. They have these incredible city centre locations, and they're really geared as well towards corporate involvement, as you well know. Yeah. And we are very excited to still have at Hickstead. I wouldn't be the first person to say that Hickstead is akin, to pre-event tiredness, to say Wimbledon for horses. And we're so lucky that it's still such a special win for people. And of course, on the Sunday, we have the Grand Prix of Great Britain, which is the Longines King George V Gold Cup. So we really do have the creme de la creme of world sport. And of course, this year, the FEI World Championships, as you know, are in Denmark in August. So next week will be the last run for most of the riders. So it'd be a great way to see current form. And we do have many of the Team GB actually jumping here next week, including, of course, Ben Mayer, reigning Olympic champion.
Absolutely. And I've watched him compete at Hickstead, and my hero, as you know, Scott Brash, compete there. But also there's a generation of youngsters coming through, people like Peter's son, Harry Charles, still in their early 20s, who are going to be shaking gold come one day. My final point is this, and you and I...
What's so exciting?
Yeah, totally. That you and I have chortled about many a time. Tell me the story of the famous Derby Bank at Hickstead. It is a completely standout item. You've got to come steep up, climb to the top, pause for a while, and then scurry down and not slide and then go straight over a jump. But it's higher than any other bank in Europe. Why?
It is indeed. It's an absolute beast. And the story goes that when Dad went over to Hamburg in the late 50s to measure up their bank, the kind of guy he was like, my bank's going to be considerably bigger. And he says that he forgot that there was 2 foot of snow on top. So then got home. They sent poor Granny Sue, his second wife, up to measure it as he was standing there barking orders. But it still remains one of the biggest beasts, in the world today. And winning the Derby still is so important. And of course, this year, finally, 60th anniversary, my dear brother-in-law finally won it after 20 years of trying. So it was a great year this year.
And I did say at the very beginning, there's a picture on the screen at the moment for people who are listening to our conversation on radio. There's you, me and Nick Soames. And before that, there was you, me and Claire Balding. And there's one of you, Mrs. Stewart and Biggins. Please. And there's Martin Clunes, who's the president of the British Horse Society.
Exactly.
I give you 30 seconds. I give you 30 seconds uninterrupted to convince the people who are kind enough to watch us and listen to us that this is not a snobby elite sport. It's lovely, available to everybody and enjoyed by everybody.
Absolutely. And this year we've done even more to try and combat a little bit for everyone the cost of living crisis. So all advance tickets free for the family. We've got incredible family areas. And if you're a show jumping purist, we've got that side covered, but it's also a fabulous day out for the family. And as you were saying, we sell just as much beer as we do Pimm's, as we do champagne. You can buy new sofas, you can buy jewellery, there's a craft area, there's a chariot racing, and it's just a great British family day out. And we are really so excited to have it back up and running this year. And as I say, we have also the creme de la creme of, elite world-class equestrianism happening too. So we are very excited.
I couldn't contradict one dot or comma of that. And if you haven't tried it, do it. And if it's your first time, Hickstead's a damn fine place to give it a go.